this beautiful pink rose bush that is in its second flush of blooming. Is a reminiscent pink by Proven Winners. Look at these beautiful blooms. And they last so long, it's just incredible. Of course, they will eventually go over, but it takes some time. For when they first start opening up, it takes about, a week to get to here, and then that bloom will last a week. So you have 2 full weeks of beautiful blooms. And I have a lamb's ear back here with tall garden phlox. This is a pufferfish hydrangea from Proven Winners. And a salvia that's not blooming. A hardy geranium. This one is a geranium Roseanne. I think it's going to be a great ground cover. I've bought 3 of them when I got this one, and they're all doing amazing. The pufferfish have done really well with all the rain I've gotten, hardly any sagging at all. The other side of that limelight with a planting of an annual celosia. Even the branches without blooms on them have so much interest. Look how red that veining in that stem is. Just amazing. This is loosestrife. I have a wet spot here in my garden, and this plant loves to sit in water. So I planted it right on top there. Some more ajuga that I just planted. I took off of a patch. It's very easy to propagate. Some more tall garden phlox. This is a Pinky Winky panicle hydrangea. That's going to get much bigger. So I haven't really planted around it much, just because I know it's going to be huge. I will probably at some point need to move this iris. This is a blue flag iris. In the spring, these stems, you can see a bit of the blue down by the base, but in the spring, it's all the way up here is that blue. It's beautiful. Some more tall garden phlox with cone flowers. This is a blue muffin viburnum. Some of the berries are still on there, you can see, but some of them have already been eaten by the birds. And this is a Black Tower elderberry. So it should stay pretty narrow as it grows taller. I'm going to turn around here. Some more phlox, some annual planted foxgloves, a Proven Winners daylily that's been blooming, I don't know, for like 3 weeks now, maybe. This is a Limelight Prime. The branches are very sturdy. Flowers are very compact and beautiful. They have not started turning pink yet. They will get a little pink. I guess there's a little bit of pink starting. Just not as much as you can see on the berry white hydrangea there. This is a Queen Elizabeth rose that I need to deadhead. Still has lots of buds. It's been blooming all summer. Another real good bloomer over here. This is another geranium, hardy geranium, the Roseanne one. A couple planters that I planted up with annuals. Another loose strife here. But this here is called All Dressed Up. And it has literally been blooming since May. Laura on Garden Answer talked about All Dressed Up, or Aaron did anyway. He brought it up first, I think, when they were talking about roses a couple years ago, about how this was one of his favorites as far as how long it bloomed for. And when I saw it at Suburban Lawn and Garden, I grabbed 2 of them. And it's doing great. I have some sedum tucked in there, some variegated sedum with some zinnias planted for filler. Again, some tall garden phlox, hardy geranium with a bunch of ajuga. And this is a candy corn spirea from Proven Winners. And some more salvia that have been cut back. And just planted up this ground cover sedum. Some more salvia and lamb's ear. And irises that probably need their stems to be cut. Some more roses. And Marassae, I think it's called, viburnum. That's a double file viburnum. And a yellow smoke bush. At some point, it had a lot of the leaves became burnt. I'm not really sure why that happened or what I need to do, but I've been told it's supposed to be in direct sun and that I should keep it here. I thought maybe it didn't like the direct sun, but these newer leaves look great and they're not burnt at all, so maybe it was just a little too thirsty one day. Anyway, some annual salvia that I planted up. I'm going to actually try planting this out in the garden in another week or so, because I've heard that they actually will come back in my zone, even though they're rated for zone 7 and I'm a zone 6. This is a beautiful drift rose I planted this spring, and coneflower. It's a red twig dogwood. This over here is a Pinky Weeky Prime. I just got this year. Loving it. This is just a double pink knockout rose here. And button bush here. It's just about done flowering. If I just deadhead it, I think it'll keep on going. This is another Bobo. Way more blooms than the other one because it's in direct sun. And some Black-Eyed Susan. And this is the Spirit 2 that had a beautiful color of pink. I think I'm gonna come back and deadhead these blooms just to see if it will rebloom. And some sedum tucked in there as well, with various daylilies, a hibiscus I started from seed, some more tall garden phlox, come around the, I also have a sedum bed that has hen and chicks and different sedums of different varieties. And these are evergreen. They will stay like this all winter. Not really sure what this one is doing. Maybe it's getting ready to flower. It has these pink things in there. That would be pretty cool. You can see it's kind of being overtaken by that guy and that guy. This is all my sedums, all in a row, at least my sedums in the back. I do not have this area on drip irrigation. I hand water these when I feel like they need it. They don't need near as much water as the other plants. And eventually, once they're established, they won't want any water at all. This is a hardy geranium called New Hampshire. I love it. It did grow way bigger than what the tag said, and that's okay. I have adjusted. This is just a Supertunia Jazzberry that I filled in a gap with. It's not getting very big, I think, just because it's not getting very much sun. This is a candy corn spirea. This is a double play doozy spirea. Both of those are from Proven Winners. I love the color of the candy corn, but the blooms of this double play doozy never stop. They just go and go and go and go. It's just amazing. This is another hardy geranium. This one is by Proven Winners called Boom Chocolata, for obvious reasons. It's getting a little bit of red to its leaves, so I think it's a little stressed. It's probably thirsty. I'll give it a little extra water. It is on the drip system, but maybe it's not pleased with its amount. So I will give it more. Hardy geraniums want a lot of water. And of course, so do hydrangeas and roses. I have some more zinnias in here. This is a, I believe it's called a Sunrise Sunset rosebush. This thing is a sprawler. Maybe if I step back, you might be able to see the scope behind this lilac here. So it goes from here all the way across to here. You can see its branches sticking up by the zinnias. That's all of 8 feet wide, and it's 8 feet long, and I would say it's about 4 feet tall. Those blooms are coming up at about 4 feet, and they're beautiful. It's a very hardy rose bush. It's getting a few yellow leaves at the bottom. I think it just needs a little bit of fertilizer. This is a lilac. I have a number of lilacs. This is a Strawberry Sundae, panicle hydrangea. This is just a patch that comes up every year of Queen Anne's lace. And I like the effect of it, so I just don't mow over there. It comes up everywhere in the yard, but it's very easy, very, very easy to pull. I've never had a weed that was so easy to pull. It's crazy. So I just let it come up, and when I decide it's too tall or I don't like it, I just pull it up very easily. This is a Monrovia rose bush. Very, very hardy. The blooms last a long time. I actually got this on sale at Lowe's for 50% off because there were no blooms on it. So I brought it home and deadheaded it and planted it, and it's been loving its life right there. This whole bed was planted this year. So this is a viburnum. This is a Korean spice viburnum. Its blooms will be very fragrant in the spring, and it will be 8 by 8 feet. This is a bush clover type of bush clover is Gibraltar, and it will get much bigger. It is cut down to the ground every fall or spring and comes back, and it probably grows 6 inches a day. I swear, it's just amazing. Maybe not 6 inches, maybe more like 3 inches. But it will, it also loves water, and it will get so tall that the branches will cascade over. I'll be sure to give an update video of that later in the summer. And it blooms. Once it starts blooming, it blooms to the first frost. Just another annual container with some zinnias planted around it and some foxgloves. Just an overview of the garden here. And we'll come up this back side. And these are florets, dahlia seeds. I started in March. The Japanese beetles have had their way with them, but once they are gone, the flowers will be amazing. Some of them haven't been chewed on. This one is quite beautiful. Most of them have been pretty chewed on though. Anyway, here's some more tall garden phlox with variegation. This beauty is a firelight hydrangea. It's drooping because it had some really heavy rains. But look how big this bloom is, and it's already turning pink. I just love the color of it. Just another planter that I planted up with petunias and angelonia. Angelonia is just about done. I have a hybrid tea that doesn't have any blooms on it. Usually the Japanese beetles give it so much attention that it kind of leaves the other ones alone. Here's that Pinky Winky from the back. This is my other all dressed up rose, blooming, of course. It will keep blooming. That's another pufferfish right there. That's an almond bush that blooms beautiful pink flowers in the spring, right in front of that limelight. I come around my sitting area. Another baby rose bush. And this is a climbing rose bush, doesn't have any blooms on it now. And a vine honeysuckle. And this is another firelight. Blooms aren't as big as the other one, but they're looking beautiful. And plenty of red with some black-eyed Susan in the background, and salvia and foxglove and coneflowers and some more daylilies. This is a mole trap. I have a problem with moles in my garden, and so you'll see various traps here and there. Try to get a space where you can kind of see the garden. This is a panicle hydrangea that I got from a friend who didn't want it in their yard anymore. It's an older variety. For some reason, it's blooming on that back side. That's okay. And this is a volunteer rosebud, redbud. When I pot it up, I'll plant out eventually. So this is kind of a back view of the garden here. So you can see this bed coming off of the studio, the middle bed, my planter bed. You can see the bed off of the shed. in my newest bed. Let me know if you saw anything that you would like the specific name for. I have it, and this is another lilac, and this is a lilac too. They bloomed this spring and were gorgeous. If there's any plant that you see that I didn't name and you would like the name of, just let me know. I save all the tags. Just let me know the time of the video that you saw the plant, and I'll let you know its specific type and its exact name. And that's all. Bye.